So then, as we entered 2020 and the liquidity situation in the markets was already slightly tight, slightly panicky, because big names like ILFS and DHFL were collapsing, and in that the news started coming around Jan Feb that there is some sort of a virus which is affecting some other countries, but yet it had not happened in India. And then that wave came into India, and then this thing we had to do. This became the new identity. We had to do it. So masks and all became common. Lockdowns. Nobody would have expected a lockdown for the entire world practically, but a lockdown happened, and amongst the most unimaginable thing that anyone would have expected is this chart, that crude oil prices actually went into negative territory. And no one would have ever expected that a price of a commodity, and a commodity such as crude, that can go into negative territory. But this happened. We saw this day in 2020, where crude oil prices came down and it was as low as -40. Now why this happened was because there was global lockdown. Nobody trusted each other. We didn't want to touch each other. We didn't want to buy products. So because of that, oil, which was trading, which trades all over the world, it got stranded where it was. So while production kept continuing, there was no place to keep those barrels, and therefore wherever those barrels were stored, they were saying, take these barrels away from us, we are ready to pay for taking the barrels. And that's the negative price that got reflected in the markets. Again, an unimaginable thing. Back home, Sensex crashed. We had a lower circuit for Sensex around 23rd of March. It was mayhem. It was panic everywhere. Look at what happened to other asset classes. Sensex from 42,000, it came all the way down to 26,000. Nifty PE was at 19. Now 19 is a historically, it's considered to be an average PE, and theoretically we should have bought at this time. How many people bought, we don't know. After that, the FOMO rally got fueled. So, but that's the next part. Now see, rupee depreciated, and rupee depreciated means dollar appreciated. This is a very important lesson we have to take, that in times of crisis, the dollar is the currency which everybody wants to have. Dollar index, which was at 97, it went all the way to 19, even it crossed above 100. So rupee against the dollar and the dollar index both tell us that dollar is an asset which investors prefer in a crisis. Whenever there is a risk of trade, people, so this is one learning which we have to take from this. Crude oil collapsed, of course we saw that. And another currency which gained momentum was gold. Gold was slightly fluctuating for some time, but nevertheless gold and dollar were the two currencies which were sought after by investors in 2020 when the crisis happened. So this was a third video where, when the crisis struck, what all happened and what we learned. So during times of crisis, during a risk of trade, dollar is the asset which generally appreciates. That is one observation, one learning we have to take, the first learning we have to take from this crisis. So 3 videos over, 7 videos to go. Watch the entire series. This is done with BSE, IPF and SEBI. So in the comments, thank both of them, and thank you very much for watching the series. Thank you very much.